If you own an S197 Mustang and you're getting ready to lower it, you can't just get springs. The reason for that is the factory shocks on those cars, especially with how old they are now, need to be replaced along with the springs.
Most of these cars are over 10 years old, and shocks and struts are wear items. They do wear out. And over time, the gas charge depletes, the fluid starts to leak out of them, the bushings start to go, and as a maintenance item, you should really be looking at replacing your shocks and struts.
And this is a great opportunity to make the upgrade, frankly, even if you're sticking with your OE spring. But let's be honest, there are a lot of awesome performance spring options out there, specifically the ones we offer here at Steeda. So if you're gonna make that jump to a more performance-oriented spring, lowering spring on your S197 Mustang, the way to go is picking up a set of non-adjustable Pro Action shocks. Now, Jamie, you've got your shocks picked out, you've got your lowering springs picked out. What else should you consider when you're lowering an S197 Mustang?
You should really look at how you're going to readjust your alignment, because once you lower your car, you're going to throw the suspension alignment off. Camber plates are a great way to get your alignment back into spec, or be able to adjust for more performance driving situations. Also look at your strut mounts, the bearings, the rubber mounts. Make sure that they're in good condition. Now would be the best time to replace those along with the bump stops.
Speaking of camber plates, can you briefly go over who would want to use a camber bolt? Because there's plenty of options out there for that, or make the jump to a camber plate when they're lowering their car.
Camber plates are the preferred method for camber adjustment. The camber bolts are a good economical method if you have to make small changes to your camber, you're trying to balance it, you don't have another way to do it. It's a good economical way to do it, but the best long-term approach is with a camber plate.
And when it comes to camber bolts, I usually like to say that when it comes to street use, pretty much strictly street use, camber bolts are a great way to go. But if you plan to do any more than that, plan to have some fun on the back roads, hit some canyon roads or HBD or anything like that, definitely suggest making the jump to getting a camber plate.
Now, the camber plates will stand up to the abuse a lot better than a camber bolt will. Camber bolts, by nature, they're reduced size from the factory bolt, and you give up a little bit of strength to get the adjustability with them. With the camber plates, you don't risk the loss of reliability.
Now, moving on to the rear, something that's much different versus the S550 cars, these S197 cars still have the solid rear axle in them. So, Jamie, can you explain what happens when you lower a vehicle but you keep your factory non-adjustable panhard bar?
As you lower a car with a panhard bar, it's going to allow the rear end to shift under the car in one direction or the other, and you're going to add offset to the rear axle. So when you lower the car, it's a really good idea to replace your fixed length panhard bar with an adjustable. For an adjustable shock for your S197, we usually recommend a Coney Yellow Sport. They're rebound only adjustable, but they're extremely durable. They're a great choice for people that are going to be using their car at track events, autocross, drag racing. They just work really well.
Now, we keep saying S197, that's referring to 2005 and 2014 Mustangs. When it comes to shocks and struts, it's kind of split up between 05 to 10 and the slightly older S197 body style and the newer 11 to 14. Regardless whether you have a V6 GT, 500, 08 Bullet, anything like that, we have the shocks and struts to cover your application, whether it is that 05 to 10 or 11 to 14. Same goes with camber plates. If you have any questions regarding shocks, struts, springs, anything suspension on your S197 Mustang, please comment below. We want to hear from you. We're happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Hit that like and subscribe button, the notification bell, and don't forget the most important thing.
Speed matters.